Okay, Friday morning in the kingdom, and Johnny's on his way with the groceries and the beer. He's had one hell of a week. Yes, being the delivery guy, the mechanic, and everything. Unreal. Okay, this morning we woke up to +9, which is lies. It's really warm out here. I shouldn't have had my jacket on, but we're doing it for theatrical drama. Yes, we woke up to +9, but feels like +7. And then on the yo-yo scale, +48. But feels like +45 Fahrenheit. Oh, these lips. Yes, we're going to have a warm day. Yesterday we got caught off guard with no rain. So here we are working away, expecting the rains to come. And it didn't happen. Just strange. So today is supposed to be a nice day. It's supposed to be nice till Monday, and then the rains come back. So we might have one day of hot summer. Yes. And then also too, Amazon has my 5th book in my Winter Road series on for being free. Yes, 15 Seconds of Fame. That's when I was featured on the TV show Ice Road Truckers. And the show aired in 2013, which gave me 15 seconds of fame. And the book is free as an ebook from June 21st to the 25th. 5 days on Amazon, 4 days on Sesame Street. Yes, and today is the longest day of the year. So let's scroll this way. It's the summer solstice. Don't ask me how to spell it. All right. The sun is over here somewhere. Over here, somewhere over there. I can't see anything. There's a glare on the screen as usual. All right. But the funny thing is, today isn't the longest day for us. Yes, about June 30th, that's the longest day. That's when I'll try and stay sober and go out at 11 o'clock at night to show everyone what the world looks like at the end of the world. Yes, last night I got up. Well, the cameras didn't click on to night vision till about midnight. And then at 4 a.m. when I got up for a pee, actually 4:02, the cameras had switched back. Some of them had switched back over from night vision to regular vision because there's enough daylight. Yes, daylight. Oh, the joys. I remember being young and partying and everything like that and going all night and not really noticing night because it never got dark. Oh, the memories. Now look at me. I'm an old guy at the end of the world holding a stick. Yes, holding a stick. All right, we just about made one full rotation. We're not going to work on the grader today because I need my memory refreshed. Yes, we have to work on the welding on the ramp deck over here because it's been a couple of months since we worked on it, I think. Oh, we have to weld, and we're going to weld today and weld some more. All right, so we just did a full rotation. Dick is flying high this morning. Yes, he's flying high. Yes, in aviation terms, not in Cheech and Chong. I just can't believe how high he's actually flying. He's actually probably within the flight code. All those other years flying low just above the tree line. And then if I had my gender revealing party for that, my goldfish, if I had fireworks, I would have taken him out easily. Oh, well. All right, I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, to add excitement to my life, I decided to contact Princess Auto and discuss this, shipping of my welding rods, because they're coming from a far, far away land, and it's because of the computer they use in shipping. So I wasted 2 days of my life, and I got back an automated reply. So I'll go to the computer and explain. Okay, the easiest way to explain the shipping here and the confusion, like Father's Day here in WHO-ville, I've used Google Driving, so here it is here. So if I was to leave Lynn Lake or WHO-ville and drive all the way to Prince Albert to the Princess Auto store here, it is 1,058 kilometers, okay? In theory, no transport trucks, Canada Post, or anything like that takes that route. Everything is sent to a main hub. So the Prince Albert store ships to Saskatoon. Saskatoon sends to Winnipeg, where Sir Rodney is. And then it travels from here all the way up to here. And it's only 1,082 kilometers. So the computer, the shipping computer at Princess Auto is artificial intelligence. So it figures that this route here is shorter. Okay. So that's the way we're going to ship it. So I made the mistake of wasting 2 days of my life communicating with Princess Auto. And all they did was send back a generated or cut and paste response stating that the Princess Auto store is closer to Lynn Lake or WHO-ville. So that's why my supplies are going there. So I replied back, hello, you're adding an extra 1,000 kilometers. It's traveling from Prince Albert down to Winnipeg. So you've added 1,000 extra kilometers, which is another 2 days travel. Okay. So you're taking up space in the freight truck that doesn't necessarily need there. So if this is what's happening with just my little orders, can you imagine how much travel these other people getting freight and everything? So it's just not Princess Auto, it's all the other corporations and big businesses that ship all the time. I just shake my head. Welcome to the new world where common sense doesn't make sense. And I suggested to Princess Auto to put on my orders anytime, ship out of the Winnipeg store. Well, we can't do that because the computer doesn't like that. Unreal. All right, let's wander around outside and enjoy the sunshine. Okay, it's about 11:30. I'm finally getting out of the house. I had to boil some rainwater so I can make Kool-Aid. Yes, and orange juice. So we have the caboose doors open. That's one caboose and the other caboose there. You have to treat them as if they're little, well, how would you say, 9 by 24 cabins at the lake. So you got to air them out. We just went through the rainy season, so we're airing them out. And look at the flags. Okay, first time since they left the nest, their little ravens have returned. Maybe some squatters had moved in and now they have to take their home back, okay, which is quite common in the new world we live today. All right, let's scroll this way and this way and this way. Don't go get dizzy because it's hot out here. We're not used to this temperature. That's just unreal. All right, so the staff usually drops off the jerry cans of diesel at the vehicles that require the fuel. She has the list and everything, but last night we were running late and the boss is an asshole and will not pay overtime. All right, so what we do is use the dolly cart and we add a splash of each. Yes, the 2-stroke is to lube up the diesel fuel so it's easier on the injection than the pump, and the diesel fuel conditioner, we just toss it in case it's cold. Yes, in case it's cold. That's the joys of living at the end of the world. We don't know when it's going to snow. My, those ravens sure are squawky. I almost think the ex-wife is here. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, but I'm getting organized. I haven't started welding. I might not get welding today because, well, it's getting warm, and plus we got loose ends to do. If we don't do the loose ends and keep on top, we have to get the parts rolling in, right? So Sir Rodney's not, how'd you say, put on a spot, rush delivery to the end of the world. Like those brake drums, it took them 2 months to get in August, okay? I think we ordered in July and we got them in September, October. But then when I went to put them on, they were right there and installed. Okay, so what I'm doing here is getting this stuff organized, okay? I have to mark everything, so when it goes into the parts trailer, the IH cat parts trailer, yes. Okay, I remember, plus for my estate sale, people will know. So this is the mag for the TD18 UD16, and it worked in 2017, and there's the little parts, okay? I write on everything. This is the decompression lever for the grader, okay? We're not using the gas side of the motor, so we don't need this extra lever or rod that's going to, be in the road when we do the, official run. The carburetor works in 2017, and it's marked there, same as the gas tank for the UD16. And we took the expensive valve off. There's no sense buying more valves, more fittings, because I'm retired. We're not starting any new projects. Let's recycle, reuse, repurpose what we have. Like, it's unreal how much parts are in these sheds that aren't being used and will never be used and have no resale value at my estate sale. All right, let's go burn some lunch, or I think we'll have a sandwich because it's way too hot. Okay, I'm in Trailer 1 when we're doing some thinking. Yes, thinking with Jack Daniels. So in Trailer 1, this is the Wilson's electric or rebuild or whatever. That's the name right there, Wilson, not the volleyball guy from Tom Hanks and Castaway, I think it was. All right, so over the years, I've been buying these 40 MT starters. I think they're the 40, yes, okay? Because they're 12 volts, and then we have to change it out to the Bendix to a Helix coil. A Helix coil, just like the Canadian rock band Helix. They're at a slight taper, and you change the nose cone to fit the D6. All right, so we found out that Wilson's is crap. Yes, these starters don't work. See, they're all apart. Some of them were brand new. Never worked. And we even had a Wilson starter that was on the TD18 that worked for 10 revolutions and then it self-destructed. We had brand new Wilson starters for the TD6 and the TD9s. They made 3 tries and they blew apart. It was a long story. I should write a book about it. But here's all the parts we have. Look at all these parts. Yes, probably $15,000 in today's market if I was to replace all these parts. We've tried everything, new solenoids, new Bendix, new everything. They're just junk. So back in the day, 2019, I bought I think that's what, these are Dixie starters from Sir Rodney. There's a, for an 81 IH. Oh, back there, Les Nessman. All right. So it didn't work. So I put this 81 or this new starter on. Okay. So that is a 42, I think it is. Yeah, 42. Okay. And well, the guy never paid me, so I took the starter back. Yes, nice guy. And I kept the core back there. So we have this starter here that's brand new and never worked or never used it. Okay. So let's see if we can fit this onto the UD16 motor, because it's very close to fitting. Okay, I'm now over at the TD18, known as dually. Yes, because of the dual exhaust. All right, so we removed all the gas side of this motor because we don't need it anymore. Yes, we just start on straight diesel because it's direct start. All right, so here's the 35 MT starter that's shoved into here. And the original starter was a gear reduction one. It came out, dropped down, and then the housing itself was really low. So I think we went for the 35 MT. I don't know why. But I think it's smaller because it could fit against the block there and stuff. So I don't think a bigger starter would fit in here. That's why we never achieved or tried. But this is a nice tight fit. These cats start on diesel. No matter how cold it is. You plug the block heater in, it warms up the cylinder head, and then let her go. Just crank it over, and that's what we did to the D6 cats. We used the 40 MT with the newer, different style nose cone and the Helix, yes, the Rock Band Bendix, and those things have been starting for over 20 years, so that tells you it's well worth switching over. Plus, you have to remember, these motors aren't brand new. They don't have the compression they had back in the day where you had to start the pup motor or get it running on gas to get it to crank over. Those days are long gone. These things are worn out like me, and well, you can just say not much compression. But the main thing is they start, they run, and we have fun. Okay, and to our surprise, the UD16 in the grader known as GoMass came with this starter here. Okay, so we have the Delco numbers over here, the tags, but this is 2017 and stuff. We'd already figured out, well, that's when we cooked it. But it was back in, before we actually had that grader, that we had the TD18 switched over to a direct start or whatever. Yeah, better starter, because those starters we had on there, the original ones, were next to impossible to get, and they cranked over too slow. So this is, we'll call this the 35 MT, because that's basically what it is. Because it's written on there for the TD18s and the UD16. So there's the starter information. We've been using Dixie, which is supposedly a Canadian company. We get them through Sir Rodney. There, we wrote it up there. All right. So a 35 MT is counterclockwise, rotation 12 tooth, 55 pounds. Really note that. Okay, pretend you're a lady and paying attention to your waist or whatever. All right. I also find too, if the ladies put on a little weight, it's usually in the boobies. Okay, back to the starter that I repossessed or whatever. Well, the guy didn't pay me, so I knew where his truck was parked, so I took the starter. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. We just blame the locals for stealing it for copper. But the moral of the story is pay your frickin' bills, because I have to pay out the cash to buy this stuff, pay the freight to get it here, pay the core charge to get that all handled. So I'm out a lot of money. So if I go and retrieve something, there's a reason why. Okay, so this starter is the Dixie TS1611, and it came off an 81 IH truck. Okay, so the people of WHO-ville will know whose starter it is. This is called a 40 MT, counterclockwise rotation, 12 tooth, 60 pounds. Yes, 60 pounds. So that means this is a little larger, bigger boobies. Yeah. So I did some quick measurements. Yes, we use the vernier caliper. We use it as a feeler gauge. So the measurements here to here is close. And you got to note then how far out it comes. So this is spring loaded because it's the new style Bendix. It's not these ones here that fall apart. You know, after 50 years or 60 years of cranking, they kind of fly apart. So you use the screwdriver over here, pry it out, and we got a good measurement. So we know it's going to go out and grind into the flywheel accordingly. But we know the bolt pattern is going to be kind of wonky or weird or something like that. Now let's go see the grader. Okay, we're out at the grader known as Gomez. It looks a little wet because it rained diesel fuel last night. Yes, oh, that was a song by the Spice Girls, Raining Men, I think it was, or something. All right, so over here, look at the room we have for this starter. Okay, so I think we have enough room here. I'll do a double check on where the flywheel is in relationship to the bracketry, and the bolts aren't going to line up, but guess what? I got a welder. Yes, I got a welder. Plus, look at where the fuel filters housing is up here. I had to remove all that crap to get this injection pump out. So also too, these fuel filters for here are getting very hard and expensive to get. So we might have to go for the spin-on upgrade. We did that to the one TD18 because the filters are just way too expensive. And especially up here, we get some bad fuel. You pay for it dearly. With the fuel filters and the loss of time trying to get something started, because bad fuel means ice. Yes, ice. Oh, that's another song. Ice, ice, baby, ice. All right, let's get a test fit here. Okay, doing a test fit with the starter, the repossessed starter. Yes, I want my money, or I take my starter back, because I did. Okay, so the main concern for me was the tightness here. Okay, if it's not tight, that means the Bendix isn't going to be, how would you say, perfect against the flywheel. All right, but you got to remember, this is off an 81 IH truck, and this is an IH motor from the 1940s or whatever. So most likely back then they just kept the same measurements and used it, one template fits all. Doesn't matter if it's a truck, cat, grader, whatever motor they're building. All right, so the next concern for me is this nose cone is short. It fit in here. This nose cone is long. Is it scraping in here somewhere? Also too, the cutout here. All right, so the starter has to have clearance for the flywheel, right? So I took the vernier right here, measured from the center of the bolt hole to the edge of there, and then I measured over here, and it looks like that is the clearance required. So this is pretty good. All right, I'll lift this down. It looks like the bolt holes, everything line up. So I'll lift it down. I'm going to put paint marker all over the edge in here to see if we get any scratches in there. Are you confused? If so, have a drink, because I am. Okay, there we go. It's getting pretty windy out here, but I've used the bolts from the magneto on the other side to hold on the starter, and then I evened it out right here to make sure it was even, so it's in center of the hole or center of the bolt holes. So this should work. I can't crank it over or test out the starter, but I'm pretty positive it's going to work because we have no injection pump in here. There's a gear just hanging there, so if I go to crank it over, that gear will jam up and break, and then I got more problems like when I said I do. All right, so this goes to prove the wires were cut because I was in a hurry to get my starter back. All right, let's go have a victory drink, because 2 hours of farting around and using Google. I didn't phone anybody or ask questions if this is going to fit. I used Google, got my measurements for the starter, sizes, dimensions, everything like that. I figured it out on my own because I gave up asking people for help, because usually I get the wrong information. And Sir Rodney's really good at this stuff because he's a qualified parts man, and he is like a fans only club. He can access some of these sites like Dixie and all this stuff through the parts man's code to find out more information. That's the joys of having a good parts man on your side. And also too, we never seized everything. Oh, there's a bumblebee. I better get out of here. My beer's calling me. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and it's gotten too hot too fast. So the rule of thumb here in Wilderness, Alaska, but in Northern Manitoba, is if it gets too hot too fast, that means thunderstorms. So hopefully we don't get thunderstorms. Hopefully these clouds are just fake. Yes, just like my marriage. Because that's the last thing we need is thunderstorms, because thunderstorms is lightning. Lightning equals forest fires. All right, let's go have a beverage. Yes, it's Friday. We're relaxing, and we just saved a lot of money by making a starter I repro'd fit. Excellent. I'm so pleased. Let's have a drink. Okay, after coffee in the kingdom, and I figured I'd do something relaxing. Yes, like figure this transmission, motor, everything out, and stuff like that. And then I got tired of the wing mount. Yes, this thing had a full V-plow on the front and wing and everything. It was a snow plow, pusher, everything. So I got tired of working around it, so we got out the big tools. Yes, the 3/4 inch impact had no problems. The bolt heads are 1.5 inches, and in each nut was a different socket. So it was like Russian roulette. Try this socket, try that socket. Yes, keep trying. So I'm coming to the conclusion I got the seal out of there. But to get the shaft out to put the new steel in, I think I have to take the transmission out or take the motor out. If I take the motor out and then pull the shaft forward, and who says I'm not dropping gears and shims inside the transmission? Thought is required on this.
Friday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 9 a.m. and I'm getting ready for work. As you can see, it is pretty sunny out here and warm. This is the temperature we're sitting at this morning. It's 16 degrees Celsius, which is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It is way too warm out this morning, so I'm sure it's going to rain this afternoon. So let's head inside, let the dogs out, and make breakfast. Almost 10 a.m. and I'm just getting ready for work. Sure is warm out this morning. As you can see, it's pretty sunny out still, and there's not a cloud in the sky. So let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and go to work. Just after 12:30 and I made it home from work for my lunch break. It was a pretty good morning, got a lot of stock out. Now this afternoon I'm going to make sandwiches and a few other things. Let's head inside, let the dogs out, and make lunch. Sure is hot out here this afternoon. 1:30 and I'm just getting ready to head back to work. I had leftovers from last night. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 23 degrees Celsius, which is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It is extra warm out there today and getting pretty windy, and I'm not sure if you can see off into the distance, but there is some clouds rolling in, so maybe we'll get rain. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. Just after 6 p.m. and I made home from work. It was a pretty good afternoon. I got sandwiches and a bunch of other stuff done and stock put out. I already have the quad out. Now it's time to head on over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. Sure is warm out here today. I'm not used to it. 6:30 and I just made it to the kingdom. Looks like we're not doing anything today. My dad already did a bunch of stuff this afternoon while I was at work. He is now relaxing, so I came to grab the fan and drop off a few things. This is the fan that I am grabbing. It's nothing fancy, but it's just enough so I can have it beside my bed to keep nice and cool. So let's head inside, grab my dog treats, and go back to WHO-ville and do the weather. Almost 7 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's 23 degrees Celsius, which is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty hot out there today. Now the wind is starting to pick up and there's some clouds rolling in. Let's head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, 6 o'clock in the kingdom, we're finishing up. I was working on the grader there. I was all greasy and oily, and Dick flew along. He was up nice and high. He flew just on the edge of my house, but he keeps forgetting when he loses rotation, he crashes to the right. So now you've crashed into my frickin' house. Yes, he's such a loser. Plus the fact that he doesn't know anything about the Doppler effect. I know when he's flying directly at me, and then when he went past, yes, he went past right just along the tree line there. And then once he gets past, he alters course and he starts heading north. Yes. So that's a deliberate thing to fly over my yard. We have you well documented last summer and your course changes. So I just can't believe it. We'll probably be doing this 5-6 years from now. Oh, wait. The mining company's going into production, so I doubt they'll be needing Dick. Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it. All right. We had a good day. It was hot. We paced ourselves along. All right. So let's go walk the dogs, drink some more beverage. Yes, I've been, indulging, as they say. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.